Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the Grand Trivia stage our great leader, our Grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Trivia Master Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Just kidding. Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia, the only trivia show in any dimension where the points do matter and losing will cost you everything. I'm Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire, and with me, as always, is Intern Car Talk.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Intern Car Talk.
Hello.
And thank you for the sub, Lena, for 7 months of a sub.
Thank you so much.
It would be really funny, Jess, but thankfully this is not a comedy show.
Thankfully. Oh,
Whoa,
my God.
hell yeah, I'm an emoji now. Not Fluval, Plubluval, Fluv Radio. This is NPR. Hello, Ollie Garden.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Intern Click.
Christy. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Intern
Hello.
KCRW.
When Vamps.
Vamps last week.
when
Check out
was
the Radio
Vamps?
Free Multiverse YouTube channel for our Vamps watch along. Vamps. But hello, Alice, who joined us along with Missy Information last week in your dimension for our Vamps watch along, where we all concluded Amy Heckerling shouldn't be in director jail anymore.
Absolutely not.
But you know
Vamps
what we are
is a bop.
moving away from, hopefully?
What?
Kahoot. Because this week we're trying out an all-new, all-different trivia system. We're using QuizKit.
Quiz-Kit?
So
What's that, Fluval?
It's a Twitch extension which overlays the trivia directly on the video, and you should be able to interact with it either via your browser watching Twitch or via your mobile app watching Twitch. But there will be some special choices and permissions needed to get your name on the leaderboard. So follow the link that I just typed at !grant to get access granted for your name, your Twitch name, to show up on our leaderboard.
And unfortunately, or
Unfortunately,
perhaps fortunately,
yes.
Fluval,
What?
much like every company right now on
Yeah.
late-stage capitalism who will survive Earth,
That's the Earth.
what we are doing is starting with a model of giving you a bunch of things and then taking them away.
Much like Kahoot.
and making those things premium. And so
Yes.
we're really just soaking up that suffering. You can no longer put interesting names.
In Kahoot's case, it was having more than 10 people play your game
Right?
of trivia that was behind the paywall.
Right?
And there's 24 of you watching right now, so that would just be a real bummer if over half of you couldn't play. You might, Jess. you might find what I call the crowd purr game-breaking bug.
I'm kind of a multi-dimensional QA.
Yeah,
tester.
you're a quality tester. But here we go.
Tester.
Start game. It should appear on the screen now. Sending all the players are theoretically. There we go. Radio trivia, points. Correct answers gain points. Wrong answers lose points. The quicker you answer, the more points you win or you lose. Not answering doesn't affect your points. And the chat goes directly over the trivia question. The player with the most points at the end is the winner. There we go.
Good job, Fluval.
Yes.
Good job.
Oh, but now there's two of them.
There's two of them.
For Twitch, on Twitch, there's the real one that's clickable and the one that's not. So I have to leave it in this default position to not cause a lot of video issues for our live players. There we go.
Oh, no, but I love that. You have to pick which one is real.
Yeah.
That is such delightful suffering.
Well,
Fluval.
nothing is
Come
supposed to
on.
happen when you click yet. The answers will appear as I read them out, and you should be able to click on the answers as they appear.
I want details of all of the suffering you're undergoing right now.
Only if you're watching live. If you're watching this on the VOD, nothing has changed for you, and you get to sit through this preamble. We'll find
Just
out
like
if
you
it works.
always do.
We'll find out if it worked as we go to our first question. Here comes question number 1. In 1910, Lee DeForest transmitted the world's first public radio broadcast. Which city was it transmitted in? Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles, or San Francisco? Be sure to lock in your answers. When you click on them, that is you answering.
Yes. So click on whichever one you want. Let us know all about the suffering.
Yeah, let us know how it works. Oh, when you click on the link, there we go. Jess Fatson.
What? It yells at us?
It yells at us. Jess Fatson in second. Ollie Garden in 8th place with negative 24,000 points.
Wait, how?
It does work on mobile. It's just...
How do you start with negative 24,000
because they got it wrong. Because he got it wrong. It blocks the featured
just
comment.
goes backwards?
If you get it wrong, you lose points.
Oh, okay.
You start at 0, but if you get it wrong, you lose points. Anyway, on Missy, on mobile... No. If you're logged in on Twitch, there should be an explanation of how to handle it on mobile as well.
Yeah, how do people... Oh, does like the first place, last
it means they can't see what we popped up. Well, they can't... The trivia, the Twitch extension sits on top of our featured comments on the mobile, on Twitch.
Okay.
So watching live, they cannot see the comments we are bringing up.
Oh, I will just read them. Ollie Garden is winning. Floofaloof. I like that it changed the last place loser.
I do like that. I don't like how I am stuck using the layout that quiz kit wants.
Yes.
With the very little customization. But now let's see what the correct answer is. It's New York City. As 4 of you got it right, 5 of you got it wrong. And it is updating now. Hi, Opala Koala. We're playing trivia using Quiz Kit. So now let's take a look, because I think you got it wrong. So let's look at the scores.
Right? How do
So here are the scores. Horror Jedi in first, Jess Fatson Montgomery in second, Foolaloof in third, and contestant 1 and contestant 2 in 4th and 5th. I think you got it wrong.
The quicker you answer, higher you score situation?
Yeah, you got it wrong faster than the other people who got it wrong. If you get it wrong faster, if you get it wrong faster, you lose more points.
Yeah, LG isn't shamed.
Well,
why were you warned?
Because LG hasn't given permission to use LG's username. And so LG is contestant 1, 2, or 18. You have to type. Okay, here we go. ! Leaderboard will be a link explaining how to get your Twitch username to show up on the leaderboard of QuizKit. Because it needs special permission. This is seamless. This is absolutely our next question. Here we go. Question number 2. Working on it. Between 1981 and 1996, NPR produced dramatizations of the Star Wars trilogy. Who is the only actor to reprise their film role in all 3 radio dramas? Anthony Daniels, James Earl Jones, Billy D. Williams, or Mark Hamill, the voice of the cartoon Joker himself? Do you know the answer to this one, intern recollection?
I have an idea. I have a thought.
You have a
yes,
thought.
we love being a part of experimental technology here. The suffering. It's
The
so
suffering is
tasty.
incredible.
It's tasty.
Anyway, you are out of time, so I'm hoping it will pop up and say, I hope we'll get yelled at by those of you who got it wrong. Ollie, I think, also got it wrong again.
Wrong! At the speed of light!
I think it's a cool feature. I just wish I could make it not cover up the comments.
What I love about it is that we have no control over how the answer is revealed.
No,
apparently.
I do. We don't have control over when it reveals who got it wrong, but we do have control over when the answer is revealed.
Got even lower of a score. Why is it telling us?
What do you mean?
Like, what is its logic behind when it yells?
I have no idea what that is. Yeah, also, I like how there's been 2 questions. It's already negative 37,000. I did not set the point scale for this. Also, you can only have 30 seconds to answer any question. Reveal answer. Here we go. The correct answer is Anthony Daniels. Mark Hamill reprised the role of Luke in the adaptations of A New Hope and Empire, but not Jedi. Billy D. Williams only appeared as Lando in the Empire adaptation. Lando was played by Ari Gross in the Return of the Jedi drama, and James Earl Jones appeared in none of them because Brock Peters played Vader in all 3. Also, to loop back to our first question, the answer was New York City, and the first public radio broadcast was an experimental transmission of a live Metropolitan Opera House performance by several famous opera singers. 3 of you, this was a pretty even split here. Did you think it was Mark Hamill?
I thought it would be Mark Hamill.
Brock Peters, Grandpa Cisco. There's our Star Trek connection of the night.
Ooh.
Yeah, I thought it was Mark. That makes sense, Horde Jedi. And by the way, if you want to see more Horde Jedi, be sure to join us this Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern for more of Horde Jedi's Day of the Tentacle blindfold run.
It's an incredible feat of just a sign of the incredible suffering that can be inflicted upon humans.
That's a great rationale, Ollie.
Fair enough. I was kind of hoping it was Billy D.
Alice?
You
already, you should, I mean, if you do, we'll use it. You have made a better merch platform than any others too, so I wouldn't be surprised. That's right.
Yes, precisely.
Ironic. Oh, this is great. Look, it blocks my mouth.
I like that too.
Anyway, here's your scores.
What I like most is that we don't have a rhyme or reason for when it yells.
No, but contestant 34. Contestant 34 in first place. Contestant 34, be sure to follow the rules at...
Do they know?
Great.
Do you know what your number is? User player 34.
Oh, Paula Koala in second. Lena. Oh, no, those are off the question. Yeah. Well, the questions pretty much match. Ollie actually got the 4th highest score on that answer. Look at that. Yeah, you do. There's the flex button. We don't have that. They can control when their scores are shown.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the flex button. But yeah, Ollie got...
That's a good
Look at this.
feature.
Ollie got the 4th highest score on that question with negative 4,000 points. This is going to be fun once we figure out what's happening. And, here they go. Contestant 34 spamming the heck out of that button. Oh, Paula Koala here. Okay, so maybe it'll update on the next part. This is like Al Gore all over again. Stop the steal. Well, the Brooks Brothers Mafia can't stop you from getting your points on our next question, which included Brett Kavanaugh. Here we go. Question. Those were the suited lawyers who stopped Al Gore from getting all the votes he should have gotten. The question 3, in 1930, in 1930, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the city of St. Louis proposed banning car radios. Is it true, false, only St. Louis did, or only Massachusetts did? Get your answers into this question that was definitely not originally written to be a true or false question and then shamelessly expanded to have 4 possible answers.
You're so tricksy, Fluval.
I'm so tricksy.
Fluval knew they were wrong, but cannot believe
A fool
that
aloof.
it's true.
Well, maybe it is true. Maybe it's not true. You have to find out for the answer to be
Aloof.
revealed.
Not floofaloof, the way that I have been reading
No,
it this
foolaloof.
entire time.
Wait,
Okay.
now
Okay.
you have no quiz at all. Try refreshing. Also, the people.
What did you do to
Also,
anger
as a
Twitch?
fun background, the people who make this extension have made a whole app all on their own just for quiz shows. But yes, the same premise broken down into yes, thank you, Horde Jedi. That is the best compliment. Also,
Trixie.
Horde Jedi is part of the channel trailer for Radio Free Multiverse, which was uploaded recently. So be sure to check that out. It's the flex button, Horde. Yeah, you are. You as Mrs. Dudbolt are in the Radio Free Multiverse channel trailer. As is Eric Germ and Clancy Kramer. And the Argyle has negative 6,000 points. But the correct answer was, of course, true. Lawmakers thought that car radios were dangerous because of their potential to distract drivers. Automotive historian Michael Lamb notes, opponents of car radios argued that they distracted drivers and caused accidents. That tuning them took a driver's attention away from the road, and the music could lull a driver to sleep.
Wow. Flex.
Rockabye baby as you crash. I don't know why I said that like a vampire.
On to flex. Did they take flex away?
I don't think so.
What if, like, you only get a certain amount of flex?
I definitely left flex enabled, so if you don't have a flex button, that's not on me. All of those things have literally happened to Opala Koala. Well,
oh, no!
the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the city of St. Louis were looking out for you. Oh, you get 3 flexes unless you want to pay bits.
What?
So unless you give us money, you have limited flexes.
One, unfair.
devious.
2, hilarious.
That is
because now you
devious.
have to decide when you want to flex. I love
that's
that.
so devious.
That is very devious. The suffering.
The
is
suffering.
tasty.
Anyway,
The
5 of you
suffering.
said true. So Horde Jedi got the most points on that question, but Opala Koala holds on to the lead of first place with 44,000 points. 3 questions into our quiz.
Kick ass censored muscles.
I definitely thought you meant that Nightbot was censoring them. Oh, and CBC 9000 is in second place with 25,000. Jazz Fats in Montgomery 3 makes Jazz Fats in Montgomery 2 look like Jazz Fats in Montgomery 1 in third place. Horde Jedi in fourth. And contestant number 1, what do you look at, Studio Cat?
Studio Cat has just reliably decided that today and right now is the day
Yes, to get up to some real bullshit.
up to some real bullshit.
Studio Cat. Oh, you're going to be Jazz Fats in 2, Hyper Fats in tonight. Well, you still can be.
Mysterious contestant.
But you know what's a multiple of 2? The number 4. And that's our next question. Here we go. Question 4 coming up now. Before it was known as This American Life, Ira Glass's journalistic program was known as Some Things Considered, Your Chicago Untitled Journalism Project, or Your Radio Playhouse. Which of these was the name of This American Life before it was This American Life? Lock in your answers here. Of course, Ira Glass made a guest appearance on the Chris Gethard show on the episode where they took the entire audience to New Jersey, Asbury Park specifically. But be sure to lock in your answers because you're almost out of time. And don't worry, mobile players, next time there is a high latency mode to give you more time to answer. But Studio Cat, not thrilled about this answer. I hope you all have locked in your answers. I hope you see you're saving your flexes. But the correct answer is Your Radio Playhouse. It debuted under that name on November 17th, 1995. And this is the origin of the show's act structure. It became This American Life, beginning with the March 21st, 1996 episode.
But is it time for another flex, or have you run out of?
Or have you
flexes
used
for it?
all your little flexes?
All those little flexes, they're gone. Look at that little flex.
I don't know why
right
we
there.
didn't hear your sound alert earlier either, Bootleg Bart. That should be working. Yes,
not
that's
answered.
actually a good point. The quiz kit did clarify in its opening rules that not answering doesn't affect your score, which feels like a weird choice that I wish I could disable.
Right?
Because I want to make you answer. Like, it could, because otherwise...
That is the appropriate
and
thing to do for suffering.
With the sheer number of points, you could just, like, get a lead and then just not answer ever.
That could also. Oh, Floof, thank you for
Thank you,
letting it-
Fluval,
flexing.
for being extravagant and wasteful.
Floof, extravagant and foolish with your flexing.
You know, I also realized I could just put a circle over.
Manual analog flex.
I think next week I should just put a circle over the Quiz Kit logo.
I like that.
So it's a little Fluval face instead of Quiz Kit.
Apollo
but that
Koala
won't
only
work.
have so many points because you missed the first few questions.
Well, don't you worry. There's over half of them remain. Well, actually, about half of them remain.
Feel
But here is your... Oh, the tongue was a muscle. But here we go. Horde Jedi has 601 points. But in first place, it's Apollo Koala on this question and overall. CBC 9000 in second, both on this question and overall. Alice Forever Cemetery got third on that question. Fool Aloof got fourth on that question. And Lena 316 got fifth on that question. But our overall leaders are Apollo Koala, CBC 9000, contestant number 1, Lena 316, and Jazz Fadson 2, Hyper Fadson.
I forgot for a second that it gives you a score for the question and for the total. So when you said that CBC 9000 was the second in the game and overall, just like Fluval, that's like quite a judgment to just sort of throw out there.
As a human being, CBC 9000 in second place.
Gender reveal for our baby total scores. You know the two genders, question scores and total scores.
Yeah. Yeah, I burned down the state of California trying to figure out if I had a question score or a total score. Thankfully, the rain took care of it. The monsoons put it all out, but it was looking fiery for a while there.
Ooh. Too much gender going on in this state.
Too much gender. Oops, all
Too
gender.
much of just two genders. We need to distribute.
That's
the
right,
genders.
Jess. I've been destroying these planets to find...
One of them is going to have confetti on the inside, and it will be a color. And that color is going to tell us something important about genitals.
They were charged with 30 crimes.
Yeah, did that person go to jail for that, or were they just, like, fined a bunch?
I mean, they were charged with 30 crimes.
I mean, like, a lot of people
so
are...
many crimes.
Yeah, wait.
Whoa!
Fellow negatives should rise up.
Oh, I don't think we know yet. They were charged with a bunch of them and were pleaded not guilty, and then they requested the dismissal of all charges against them in December 21st, or in December 2021 and October 2022. And the attorneys are basically like, was it bad luck or are they at fault?
I mean, that is...
So we don't know yet.
That is actually an important question.
That poor baby... Well, it depends.
To be fair, though...
Well, no, but is it that poor baby, or is that baby going to lean fucking hard into it and declare themselves a god?
They're like Helen of Troy.
Yeah,
through no fault of my own, a bunch of people are killing each other.
Yeah.
Because of me.
It's because I was such a cute baby. Well, cute
My
fetus.
genitalia existed so hard.
Don't
that
light it
burnt
unless you're
down.
prepared to fight it. But was it a boy or a girl?
Right.
It was a terror. Is that child named Damien?
Are they?
Or is that child named Chester Cheetah because the circumstances of their birth are flaming hot?
Oh my god! Oh my!
Oh, Apollo! What Apollo Koala? What me?
My
Little old
gender,
me.
fire and
My gender is fire and ash. Better than fire and ice.
better than fire and ice. That would be. You know what? My gender is.
Or I guess ice and fire. Otherwise, you're like, my gender is icy hot.
That was what I was gonna say. My
Yeah.
gender is icy hot. Like I am just to be a human with chronic injuries
Oh, well, fair.
is to have their
Fair enough.
gender transformed. Yes,
Fair enough. My gender is Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire.
it's true.
It's true.
We should all aspire.
Mm.
That's how we know
Mm.
it's never a choice. Because if I could choose, I
Yeah.
would choose to be Fluval.
Everyone would
Trivia
choose to be
Master of the
Fluval.
Grand Aquarium Empire.
But you know what I would choose? To go to question number 5. Here we go. This is a fun one. Lizzo sings the end credits of which public radio show turned podcast? Hearts of Space, Pulse of the Planet, On Being, or Up First? Lizzo did this before Lizzo was the international phenomenon that Lizzo is now.
How did they get this gig?
I mean, oh.
Gender is a mound of clay in the sun. Has it rained recently? How hot out has it been? All of these things will affect the lump of clay.
It will affect the lump of clay, but now your answers are in. Or will be soon. It says waiting for players, but be sure. You don't know the answer to this, do you?
I do not.
Okay. I do, of course, because I know all things. But let's see.
I want it to be Hearts of Space.
But let's see which of you did know it.
Hmm.
On Being is the correct
On
answer.
Being.
Only one of you got it right.
Wow. Who was it? Flex.
Flex, if you got it right.
Flex.
And
Flex.
On Being is a radio show exploring, quote, the big questions of meaning at the intersection of spiritual inquiry,
Lena!
science, social
And then
healing, and
someone
the
else-
arts.
Okay, so this is what I love is that
The Argyle.
Argyle flexed after Lena, but because
Mhm.
Lena did it first,
I think Lena got
Lena
it.
covered up
Yeah.
the Argyle's flex
As-
for a significant amount of the time of the flex.
As
and I
Krista
love
Tippett,
that.
as host Krista Tippett says on each episode, the last voice you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
singing our final credits in each show is hip hop artist Lizzo.
Wow.
I just love a hip hop artist Lizzo. On Being is currently on hiatus as they refresh the project into a new form.
The only fucker to play a glass ass flute. Wild.
Well, and that president. What, Madison?
Oh, well, like if he.
The
even
first non-shitty
touched it.
person to play that
Yeah,
flute.
the first non-shitty person.
That's some real public radio shit. Yeah, it is.
That is.
Yeah, it is. And she sings about them being on the public
Significantly
radio
like
exchange.
They factor that into where they place you on the screen.
Anyway,
how
Lena
much
is the only one with
you are.
positive score on that question.
Ow!
And now Lena's in 3rd place overall, but Apollo Koala still in 1st place. That's right. The show byline does say an evil fish hosts a night of trivia today.
Fluvorp.
Who's that?
Fluvorp. You mean that serial killer
Yeah.
from the summer camp?
Yeah, it's summer camp who I yeeted out into a better life.
Ooh, the first person to flex with a number starting or ending with 69 gets $1.
Wow, 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 wow.
Crisp, shiny dollar. Ollie got
Ollie has to leave soon. Also, if
Aim
you want...
for that 69 for the crisp, shiny dollar.
Yes, aim for the 69. Let's get to that next question so people can aim for the 69. Here we
Still
go.
number 2,
From
baby.
1977 to 2012, NPR's Car Talk was hosted by Tom and Ray Magliozzi, who were better known as Breaking Gas, Click and Clack, Chevy and Ford, or Vroom and Zoom.
Vroom and Zoom.
It's Vroom and Zoom, the Tappet brothers.
Did you ever have to read that book, Who Stole My Cheese?
No.
It's
What
just
is that book?
like a weird, like, capitalism allegory story.
Was it The Hamburglar?
No, it was like hem and haw, and everyone wants cheese, and they go to the cheese vault and they eat cheese.
So it's a parody of a specific book.
And then there's two mice sniff and scurry.
Did you know it's a parody of a specific self-help book?
What?
So we're gonna go somewhere very special. So, Who Moved My Cheese is a book it's a seminal work by motivational business and motivational business fable, which describes the way one reacts to major change. And the Who Stole My Cheese is specifically a parody of it.
Is it funny? Because the one that
Andy
we had
Borowitz
to read
did a
wasn't
parody of it
funny.
too. Andy Borowitz, who is often funny. I don't. Yeah, Who Stole My Cheese by Eileen Hochberg.
Fascinating.
It's supposed to be a comedy. It's two rats and two loyal employees instead of two mice and two little people.
Oh, we had to read the one with the mice and the little.
Oh, you read the original then? You read Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah, it was very not interesting. Who cut my cheese? Ow!
Who moved my? This led to a company. The book orders were so intense that they had to make a whole company just to handle the book order demands.
Wow. All you have to do is trick people with money.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all you have to do, apparently.
And if you have money, you should support this show at patreon.com/Radio
Do
Free
they
Multiverse.
own a streaming service?
You'll get trash in the mail.
Who streamed my cheese?
Crackle.
Oh, unless you were a winner from the last couple weeks.
Oh, well,
because
yeah.
I did just realize that the envelopes I was sending the winning stuff in, the stickers that have the addresses will just like fall off of them if they're on too long. So some of them will be getting there with new addresses taped on, and I don't know if the rest of you got your prizes. So
Let
tell
us
me.
know if you didn't, and we'll send new ones. Right?
Yes.
Yes. But what was the correct answer to this little question? It was, of course, Click and Clack. 5 of you got it right. 2 of you thought Vroom and Zoom. 1 of you thought Breaking Gas. None of you thought it was Chevy and Ford. It was Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers. They won a Peabody Award in 1992 for Distinguished Achievement and Meritorious Public Service.
Emeritus public service.
They also continued to work in their repair garage while producing the show.
Maximize that.
And they also had a newspaper column called Click and Clack Talk Cars, where they gave car advice to readers who wrote in. But of course, that wouldn't give you the best part of Car Talk, which is when they ask people to do impressions of the sounds their car is making.
I didn't know they did that.
It's just like, so wait, so what does it sound like? Oh, so it's a no, it's more of like a yeah,
Their
Car
laughs
Talk's
are
great,
like
even
a
if you don't like
nicely
cars.
Oiled door hinged.
That's true.
Soothing.
It's very soothing. Car Talk rules, even if you don't.
We
like
need
cars.
some like Car Talk guided imagery. You know, diagnostically helpful
And silly.
That's what makes a better business.
Best of both worlds. But let's see which 5 of you got it right. Of course, it was Bootlegged Bart, Horde Jedi, The Argyle, Ollie Garden, and Lena 316. Opala Koala still in first place overall. CBC 9000 in second. Lena 316 in third. Contestant number 1 holding on to 4th place. Jazz Fats and Montgomery in 5th. I mean, you're not wrong. Especially like your sawbones.
Alice, you are correct.
But you're absolutely right. I mean, but I'll tell you this. Did either of the Tappet brothers shove a car in their mouth and review it that way? No. But Griffin McElroy did shove Amiibo in his mouth.
What if
They didn't go full curb.
The dulcet screams of Jason Mantzoukas talking about strange movies.
No, but they're not brothers.
That's true. Oh, are the Click and Clack brothers?
Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers, were actual brothers.
Oh.
They were like brothers who owned a garage and hosted a radio show together.
Fluval, if we could just say that we were siblings, would people want to watch us more, like in Game of Thrones?
Sure, but not like that. Not like that. Griffin McElroy has gone gray. 30 under 30 media luminary Griffin McElroy has gone gray.
This F-150 has good mouthfeel.
That's no. Disgusting.
No, I am an intern. I am
in no couple with anyone except for the trivia.
No, you see,
I'm married to trivia.
My devotion to Fluval is only like the devotion that any third dimensional being should be showing. Fluval, a fifth dimensional being, so much greater.
This is like when on your stream someone said, "Wait, are you and Bryson a couple?" It seems like you and Bryson are a couple. Except in our case, no.
No, incorrect.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. Your answer is wrong. You lose points. Why is that not working? Try another sound.
Are sounds being purchased?
Radio was being radio. It was supposed to go
potatoes.
Okay, so radio just doesn't work.
Stick them in a stew.
Radio just doesn't work. Well, that's good to know.
That's how you know that people are not involved romantically. Yes. You see, Fluval and I
would never fight with anyone about
only
food.
Consume hatred and suffering. I was surgically modified.
I haven't even drank any coffee cola LaCroix.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what I will absorb? You're suffering from question number 7. Here we go. When NPR's Wait, Don't Tell Me debuted in 1998, who was the host? Dan Coffey, Ophira Eisenberg, Michelle Martin, or Peter Sagal? I would never be a Tecate influencer. That's true.
Even though you're like a similar color.
I always don't drink beer, and when I don't, I prefer Tecate. There's not that many beer pitch people who I remember. I guess I could be like Spuds McKenzie, where I just skateboard around with sunglasses. But I would be much less into the women fawning over me.
Well, you do like, I mean, if they're good at intern tasks.
No, sure. If they're dedicated interns, yeah.
Yeah, you love ordering third dimensional beings around to perform servile tasks.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever actually get Tepache from Tepache? Did you get the first brand deal on this channel?
Yes.
At least in your dimension, of course. Oh, they actually sent them to you. Wow. 2 cases.
2 cases? What?
Wow, you got 2 cases.
What?
Send us the emails or messages you used to get those brand deals, because our numbers are the same numbers.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The Budweiser frogs in the
here's
ocean.
mine. Here's my version. Are you ready?
Amphibians are not as great as fish.
Flu. Ball.
Do it.
Flu. That's the better version, because it's about me, Fluval, Grand Aquarium Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire, and not your lowly beer.
You're entirely correct.
Anyway, the answer was Dan Coffey, as 2 of you got. He hosted the show from January 1998 when it debuted to May 1998. That was when the show was revamped and Peter Sagal became the host.
Revamped, you said?
When revamped.
When revamped?
In 1998. And Peter Sagal has been the host ever since. He even hosted a pilot for a TV version of the show in 2008 and a 2011 Year in Review Wait, Don't Tell Me special on BBC America Television from the Other Side. Michelle Martin hosted NPR's Tell Me More, and Ophira Eisenberg hosted Ask Me Another, and goodbye, Ollie Garden, who's going to go Dom, a Cubs fan.
When revamps.
Anywho, let's see. The Argyle and Apollo Koala got it right. The Argyle got it right much faster, so gained 26,000 points versus 900. And Apollo Koala, despite being in second on this question, is still in first overall. With CBC in second overall, Lena in third overall, contestant number 4 still in fourth, and Jazz Fadson Montgomery in fifth.
What I was thinking is
with 13 players, more than Kahoot could have handled.
True. We should have different awards named after various characters from Vamps.
Sure, the Goody Award.
Yes.
The Wallace Shawn Van Helsing Award.
Yes. The Golden Retriever Boyfriend Award.
Oh, the Dan Stevens. It's the actor.
Yeah.
Who was on Downton Abbey as well. Watch Vamps if anyone of you out there missed our Vamps watch along last week. Definitely just watch Vamps.
Please watch Vamps. It's really good.
Yes.
It's free on YouTube.
Wallace Shawn plays Van Helsing in Amy Heckerling's Vamps, starring Kristen Ritter and Alicia Silverstone.
Honestly, hilarious.
Yes.
Literally what we do in this show.
And Larry Wilmore is in it as well as their film professor. You may have to. Oh goodness! Do you have to give permission for them to use your username every game? I thought it was one and done.
There is a Wallace Shawn Van Helsing.
Yes.
Yeah. No. This shit's like incredible.
You know what else there is?
What?
Question number 8. So why don't we get to it right now? Here it comes. Which Thing a Week musician was the one-man house band for NPR's Ask Me Another, hosted, of course, by Ophira Eisenberg? Was that John Roderick, MC Lars, Jonathan Colton, or Open Mike Eagle? Do you know the answer to this one, intern broadcaster?
I'm intern Christy. Thank you so much. Well, I did have to unravel what a Thing a Week songwriter is.
A Thing a Week was an album by the correct. Was it an album? It was a series of albums. He put out the correct answer. Put out a song each week.
That's what I thought.
And
about a different thing.
Yeah,
each
different song, about a different thing each week. No common topics. Okay, well, the Argyle clearly knows the answer because that's the lyric from one of those Thing a Week songs. And the correct answer is Jonathan Colton.
Ooh.
His music was the soundtrack for many early podcasts, including The Daily Source Code. Colton's Thing a Week was a year-long project where he posted one song each week to prove to himself that he could produce creative output to a deadline and to see whether a professional artist could use the internet and distribution via Creative Commons to support himself.
What was the answer? No?
Yes. But he was a software engineer before that, so it made it a little easier to make the transition.
But did he conclude that it was possible?
In 2007, yeah,
Oh,
when you
okay.
were like the only musician doing it.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you become an NPR house band.
Yeah.
And you went to Yale with John Hodgman.
And George Lucas
yes.
once drank a lot
That's
of milk.
true. The Joco Cruise is named after Jonathan Colton. And only one of you got it right. And it was the Argyle, I assume. But let's see. Yeah, it was the Argyle with 27,000 points off that question. Now in fourth place.
And no more
overall.
questions.
John Roderick, one of the false answers, of course, was another musician who stood at the crossroads of podcasting and music. But he was derailed when he became Bean Dad.
Oh, no! Bean Dad, no!
Yeah, that was a whole thing. That was a phrase that was temporarily banned from the Planet Scum Twitch.
Was waiting for us.
Yes, hello, Things from the Void. You can click directly on the video now to play our trivia.
Fancy.
Oh, that's
Sorts of
weird.
New suffering. What? The Bean Dad?
No, the way the trivia looks on the video, it doesn't actually line up quite right. I'm seeing now, but that's fine.
Wait,
that's just suffering.
Bean Dad themselves?
He also sucks for a lot of other reasons too. I bet he does. No, the phrase "Bean Dad" was banned. If you typed "Bean Dad" in that Planet Scum,
Why?
because we got annoyed at people talking. Bryson got annoyed at people talking about it. It was derailed. It like derailed the show, and it just was like, we're not going to use this phrase. Let's get the focus on the show.
Oh, literally during a show.
Oh, during the chat, the Discord, it wasn't banned. It was literally just like silenced by. No. It was literally just silenced by Nightbot in the Planet Scum Twitch chat.
That makes sense.
I don't know why Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire, knows behind the scenes details about Planet Scum's functioning. But I do, because I'm the trivia master.
You know everything.
I know
Fluval
everything.
knows everything.
Well, here we go to our penultimate question. Here it is. The first commercial radio broadcast aired on KDKA on November 2nd, 1920. What city did KDKA broadcast in? Chicago, New York, Detroit, or Pittsburgh? That is also, I think, correct, is that ultimately, while it was hidden, it will just, people just were like, we're tired of talking about this. But Fluval isn't.
All Fluval wants to talk about is beans and dads.
Remember when
Fluval
Topanga's husband
hates-
found, quote unquote, found shrimp in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
What?
Yeah, Daniel Fischel's husband was the guy who was like, I found shrimp in Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and it definitely seems like he faked it.
Why? Weird.
Why would he fake it? Because attention.
That's so bizarre.
Because he went so ultra viral.
Everyone knows that
Ultra viral.
everyone knows that you need to put a body part in the thing to find it in order to go like real, like viral forever.
It's true. I mean, famously,
Wild.
it's true.
Never get closure. Wild.
Wild.
They faked the finger. The finger.
They did fake the finger. That's true. Jensen Carl, another guy who sucks. Yeah, we're talking about a lot of guys who suck, because that's such a key part of the history of radio.
Yup.
But the correct answer was
Finger.
Pittsburgh. The broadcast from KDKA covered the 1920 U.S. presidential election, and they wanted to showcase that thanks to the power of radio, listeners would know the result before it was ever printed in the newspaper. The show that aired on KDKA was put together by Dr. Frank Conrad, who was a Pittsburgh-based ham radio operator who played records for his friends. He was asked to host the show by the radio manufacturer Westinghouse because they wanted to use the radio programming to sell more radios.
Right? Just give the finger person some cash. All right. They did their job keeping Wendy's in the news.
They sure did. But three of you got it right.
Fluval tail definitely in it.
Three of you knew that
Captain
KDKA
Toast
broadcasts out of Pittsburgh, and KDKA still exists.
K stations are not just West Coast.
That's a fun fact.
Oh
No, they're not.
Oh my god! It was a coworker's.
They
finger?
generally are.
How'd they get it? Wait, how did they get the finger?
They generally are. So K stations are generally west.
Here's me
But-
hoping they just found it.
But because of how it was rolled out, there are stations that have K and W. Because
Okay.
the West has normally had K and the East has normally had W, and the middle of the country received W from 1912 until 1923 when it started to match the Mississippi River. Because now it's west of the Mississippi goes K, east of the Mississippi goes W. But there are exceptions. It's like KDKA is in Pittsburgh is one of the big exceptions because it was licensed in 1920 during a short period. So, okay.
Why is there no movie? Like, why is there no buddy movie about the guy who gave his finger to his friend to pull the Wendy's scam instead of paying his friend back because I didn't have that cash?
So before the big change, they just gave radio stations call letters from ships.
Freddie got fingered should have been about that. That should have been Freddie got fingered, right?
They also, if your station moves across the boundary, they don't make you change your call letters.
Oh man, that should be Freddie got fingered. Because then it's like, it would be great. Give it to Ryan Johnson. Make it a mystery.
And in 1921, most broadcast stations got 3-letter call signs instead of the 4 that are more common now. However, within a few years, there were so many stations that 3 wasn't enough anymore. Like, that's why you have your WGNs, your WIS, your KWK-FM. as well. Your WWL, your WBZ in Boston, which should not be confused with WBEZ Chicago, the source station of This American Life.
Not easy. Paying back your friend. So sometimes if you lose a finger, you can just give your friend your finger.
And that doesn't even start talking about the suffixes, right? Because like you have, your FM suffix for if you're on the FM band, but then commercial TV stations have this same kind of prefix and call signs, but with TV at the end.
WBOZA Chicago, aka
which is also owned by David Arquette now, former WCW champion David Arquette, who owns the Bozo the Clown rights. But there's also others like Hawaii. So stations issued in Hawaii, amateur stations can have A, K, N, or W at the start. They don't have to just do K or W. I think because it's outside of the.
Why do they have to do K or W?
Because, they don't have to. They just do. Like the government is what gives out the call letters.
Why do you need?
Because you need to be licensed.
Oh.
You have to be a licensed radio broadcaster so that you don't interfere with, so that your signals don't interfere with each other is theoretically why.
But what if
also weather radio, highway advisory radio, and time stations all have different prefixes.
Big radio.
Oh, and fun fact:
don't get Fluval started on ham. These are
Puerto Rico
radio.
Puerto Rico is counted as east of the Mississippi, as is the U.S. As are the U.S. Virgin Islands, so they get W call signs. But then your Pacific Ocean territories like Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa all get K.
David Arquette from Eight-Legged Freaks, legs have fingers at the end of them.
And from Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Similar and the same as toes. Honestly, there's no difference between a finger and a toe.
Oh.
It's like what they say in any cult about the word cult. Cult is a meaningless word.
Did you know?
It does not exist. It's just a value judgment on a group that we don't like.
Are you familiar with Chicago's WGN?
No.
Okay, so it's a commercial AM radio station in Chicago that also is the basis of a whole TV station that's broadcast nationally, despite being like a local TV station, because Chicago is just that Chicago. And
for the second
WGN stands for World's Greatest Newspaper.
Like CBC 9000.
Because it was owned by a newspaper, so they just called it World's Greatest Newspaper, the radio station.
Incredible.
It is incredible, as is
Avant-Garde.
the fucking Superstation.
Fucking Superstation.
Everyone starts at the 5 and the 35 on WGN, the Superstation. Chicago's
goddamn
news leader.
Superstation.
The world's greatest newspaper. Because it was founded by the Chicago Tribune.
What's great about this WizWorld is that depending on who decodes it, what it tells you is the date and time of your death, the person who's decoding it. So it's different for everyone.
Do you know Court TV used to own WGN? I know they used to be affiliated with WGN. They didn't own it. I see.
Konglo Mofinger.
WGN does not play by the rules. There's also, of course, your WFMUs, your KALX, your KZSC, your college radio stations, which do sort of line up with the standard prefixes. But yeah, there is, so by international agreement, because it's also radios across the world, right? So by international agreement, all call signs with the letters K, N, and W are exclusively U.S. stations. International stations won't begin with K or W.
Oh.
That's solely in the U.S. Huh. And then A used to be exclusively assigned to the U.S. Army and N to the U.S. Navy. But now those can go out to amateur stations as well. Amateur stations can all get A, K, N, and W.
This Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, WKRP,
WKRP
like
in
fish.
Cincinnati.
Fish are better than us.
But this Sunday, January 15th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, Horde Jedi will continue her blindfolded run of LucasArts Day of the Tentacle. I mean, I agree with you, Alice.
Morning becomes fucking boring.
KQED is better than KCRW.
Fish. They're better than us.
You know what else is better? Our one remaining question. Oh, wait, no, we need to show scores. Here we go. CBC 9000 got first place on that question. But is 10,000 points behind Opala Koala overall. Leading 3 and 6 and third overall. Bootleg Bart, fourth on the question. Yeah, CBC 9000 still number 2 overall. As we go to our final question. The Argyle. In 1922, New York's WEAF aired the U.S.'s first paid radio commercial. What did it promote? American Express, the Ford Motor Company, apartments, or the U.S. military? Get your answers in for the subject of the first U.S. paid radio commercial.
Just the concepts of apartments. Just like, hey, you ever
hear of an apartment?
Spend time inside of 4 walls and a roof?
It does sound like a WizWorld ad. Apartments, get into them.
Apartments.
You like hearing your neighbors have sex? Apartments. You like hearing your lowly third-dimensional neighbors engage in copulation?
Apartments.
Second appearance of Ford this trivia. That's a good point.
Your house too big? Try apartments.
But what's the correct...
Apartments. Damn.
Wrong answer selected.
Oh no, Fluval. Trixie?
No.
Did
Well, none of you
Trixie
got it right.
happen?
None of you got it right, so it doesn't really matter. The correct answer was apartments.
But 2 people will now get points.
2 people will
for
get
being
points you
wrong?
shouldn't have. But none of you... The correct answer was the
What?
Hawthorne Court Apartments in Jackson Heights.
It was apartments.
The company bought 10 minutes of ad time. It was a 10-minute ad for $50.
They did need to explain
For $50.
the concept of apartments.
And that WEAF at the time was owned by AT&T. But that station would go on to become WNBC, the station that kicked off the National Broadcasting Company. And then 1922, the year this ad played, was also the year the BBC was formed.
I just want to connect it to a housing crisis. I just love the idea of like, you know how it just really sucks not being able to live anywhere just cause? Well, now you can give us all of your money.
Yeah, I found a clip
Leave the country.
too. Oh, you found it. We found the same website, WizWorld. It doesn't look like it has the full 10 minutes on it.
How long till NBC it must see
like
TV?
5 minutes. 5 minutes later, they introduced Must See TV. Here we go. 15 seconds of that ad.
Friends, you owe it to yourself and your family to leave the congested city and enjoy what nature intended you to enjoy. Visit our new apartment homes in Hawthorne Court, Jackson Heights, where you may enjoy community life in a friendly environment.
Again, they bought 10 minutes.
The way that he said friendly made it sound very sinister.
That is it, Horde. Yeah, it still exists.
Oh, wow. Is it still what nature intended you to
It looks like
enjoy?
it. Yeah, look at this. This looks nice. It was built as a co-op in 1922, so it was brand new when that happened. It's 14 5-story Neo-Georgian buildings.
Probably awful wiring.
Oh, look, a decapitated head. Is that a cavity?
I think that's McCavity.
They killed. Oh no, that looks more like they killed Mr. Mistopheles.
It does.
Who?
Hearing the first commercial and being like, why is this news? Let's go all in. Let's do it. R.I.P. Mr.
So,
Mistopheles.
if you're familiar, here's what oldtime.com says. If you're familiar with infomercial, your mic was getting real brushed.
Bring me the head of Rum Tongue Sucker!
If you're familiar with infomercials on TV, you already know it's an annoying half hour where people talking endlessly about or selling a product to a viewing audience. I can't believe it was a 10-minute talk about an apartment building. Oh, and direct selling wasn't allowed at the time on the radio, so it was considered to be an indirect, direct way of selling people on the idea of moving to Hawthorne Court. He didn't mention anything about the rates it charged, and he mentioned the company that owned it only once.
Oldtime.com rules. The Betty Boop graphic.
I assume that that's on Old
Use
Time.
it as a monologue. That's amazing. Wow. So it really was just on the concept of apartments because they weren't allowed to sell any specific
Yeah, it does
apartments.
seem like it pretty much.
Right? I can talk about 10 minutes about all of the apartments I've ever lived in combined.
That noise, if you're hearing it, is my camera popping on and off
Wonderful.
out of the thing. Not yours, just mine.
Oh, I'm so glad, Fluval.
Did you manifest this question? Yeah, I know. You tweeted out how you haven't lived in an apartment for a long time.
It was manifest.
But with that, let's go on to the final results of our game of trivia.
Oh, it just shows
Oh, it just
us
shows
the
it.
final
It's CBC 9000. Well,
There's no gravitas. There's no reveal.
okay, CBC got that wrong, but still got first place overall. So congratulations to CBC 9000.
Yes, the trivia are.
And when you end the game, it just disappears. What did you think of Quiz Kit? Let us know in the chat. And
Two wrongs have made a right for CBC 9000 tonight on Grand Trivia.
let us know what you thought of Quiz Kit.
Inaugural winner of Quiz Kit.
Yes, our inaugural Quiz Kit winner was CBC 9000. The negative scores are. Why is that happening?
Humiliation is a really excellent form of suffering.
It's a
Don't
great
you think,
form of
Fluval?
suffering. I sure do. But thank you
Quiz
for
Kit,
joining
Dr.
us
Smith.
for Quiz Kit. Of course, CBC 9000 will get one prize.
Sneed covers
but
up
we
the chat highlights.
We'll give one prize to everyone.
Pro, humiliation, and integration. Con, no silly name.
That's the
But
prize
the
you
biggest pro of
all
all.
get.
That's the biggest pro of all, really.
The planet
Destruction of
destroy?
planets. Oh, wait. Fluval, what is the gender? Have we discovered the gender?
Rocks.
We exploded the planet. It tells
Its gender
us the
is
gender.
rocks now.
The gender is fire?
Fire and rocks. And be sure to join us this Sunday for the continuation of Horde Jedi's Day of the Tentacle Blindfold Run. And next week, we'll be rerunning a special episode
That's
of
right.
George Lucas Trivia right here on Grand Trivia.
That's how they got all the permits for it. They said it was a gender reveal machine.
So oddly enough, the Dimensional Veil is going to be especially thick as it is anytime the George Lucas Talk Show is in the Bay Area.
Weirdly.
It's a weird coincidence
I
that the
just
veil
don't
thickens up
know.
when GLTS performs on a Friday in the Bay Area.
It's
So we won't
good.
be here, but there will be a special rerun episode of George Lucas Trivia right here in our normal time slot. But we'll see you the week after that
We will.
for a special night.
They are doing Sketchfest. They are.
Yeah,
but
they're doing
it's
Sketchfest,
not-
and last I heard there were 3 tickets available.
Yes. Yes. So excited.
So join us
Join
for
us!
a surprise theme of trivia on January 27th. But
January
next week,
27th.
our George Lucas trivia rerun.
Yeah. And Fluval, you know what's something about Januaries that I've always thought?
They have to fear the January man.
That, yes. And there's no Halloweens in January. Isn't that weird how there's no Halloweens in January?
It is weird. There's no Halloweens in January.
No Halloweens.
Fluval, 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 Here he comes, swimming closer than farther away. Fluval, 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 Fluval.